Attention Cloud9 shoppers, this is the Superstory Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast with Matthew Haas and Michael E. Cullen II.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Superstory Podcast. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
honey mustard is the best sauce, in my opinion.
Huh?
I think honey mustard is the best sauce. Like, you know, you got mayonnaise, you got ketchup, you got Worcestershire sauce, you've got steak sauce, you got A1 sauce, you got barbecue sauce, you got buffalo sauce, tartar sauce, if you will, if anyone's inclined towards that. I think, personally, that honey mustard is the best. So why are you looking at me like that? What's going on?
What's your name, man?
I thought we were doing the all-too-meal podcast.
No.
Oh,
This is Story Podcast.
Right. I thought we were doing a non-existent all-too-meal. Okay.
On all-too-meal.
Okay, this is Matthew Haas, then.
Yeah, and barbecue is the best.
I like honey mustard.
Yeah. Especially if it's like Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
And you got, what's, dang it, it's a local brand. They're called, not Ginny's, Gertie's. Gertie's, yeah, there's a barbecue sauce called Gertie's. That's
never had Gertie's.
Locally owned, really, really good barbecue sauce. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
In my barbecue sauce adventures.
Yes.
That'll be the next podcast.
The barbecue sauce adventures.
Yes. So, should we just jump right into orientation, Matthew?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Attention Cloud9 Associates, it is now time for orientation.
And by the way, your name is Matthew Haas.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Anyways, so the episode that we're covering today is Season 2, Episode 14, Super Hot Store. It originally aired on February
24th, 2017?
Not sure, actually. Hold on a second. February 16th, 2017.
Okay, so that was kind of close. So.
Yeah, you're close. And it was directed by Michael Spiller, and it was written by Joe Barrassas. Barrass, B-A-R-R-A-S-A-S.
Cool. Whoa.
Okay, anyways, Garrett just joined us for a minute there. That was weird. My phone decided to start playing a clip from the show. Anyways, so what happened in this episode, Matthew?
So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I'm trying to process it all. The catalyst is everything's like controlled by like a computer at the store, like when the doors open and stuff like that. So something happened with the computer that made the store get really hot, like I don't know, it's like 80 degrees or something like that. And so everyone's like really cranky, and they're just kind of showing like their worst sides of themselves because they're not comfortable. Customers like keep coming up to them, telling them about the heat. They're like the 50th customer to tell them, so they know, they're aware of it, as Amy said. Glenn is trying his best to get them to turn down the heat, but the people at corporate refuse to believe that it was a computer error, that it must have been a manager error, so they're not really doing anything about it. Glenn, meanwhile, he's turned up his AC in his office up all the way, and then Garrett kind of pulls the guilt trip on him to, get him to fix it so then he can spend all the time in his office enjoying the air conditioning. That's like plot A. That's like kind of like that's where all the other plots kind of orbit that plot.
They branch off of that plot.
I like that analogy. They branch off of that one. So then the second one is that Marcus who we were introduced like a few episodes ago. He's been in a few episodes since that time.
Well, I think he joined the first season. He was part of the first season.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in the first season.
Well,
so he's been there for a while.
He cut off his thumb by accident.
Yeah, in the season premiere, I think, or something.
And then I guess because that part of the deal for him not suing Cloud9 was that they gave him a promotion without pay as like the manager of the warehouse or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. And then he's kind of just, Marcus is one of these characters that's like just like unintentionally sexist and unintentionally racist. Like, so he tells Amy to smile when she gave him an order to clean up the yogurt because like there's like this pallet of just a bunch of melting yogurt that's just spilling out all over one of the aisles of the store. And he was supposed to take care of it, but he didn't because him and the warehouse guys are just really hot and they just tired or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells her to smile after she told him for like the third time to clean it up, and then that's kind of when it just sort of spiraled. Then she told him, I'll smile when I want to, or what. I don't remember exactly what happened. Kind of.
Yeah, basically, it's pretty condescending to tell a woman to smile,
right?
Because it's basically implying that they don't look pretty unless they smile, and it's just like, or that they're not human or something. I don't know. It's just very demeaning.
Well, yeah, and plus too, it's like smiling is like when you're like in a happy mood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're like not in a good mood,
no,
you don't want to smile. So someone telling you to smile is like them trying to force you to not be in the mood that you're in a sense. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to smile because I'm depressed or whatever, or like.
And then it reminds me of the whole like Captain Marvel thing, like when all the posters came out for Captain Marvel, asshole, incel douchebags on the internet were saying that that Brie Larson should have smiled in the photos or the trailers for the movie, and I'm just like, but yet Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. and all the other Marvel actors don't smile on their fucking posters, so but they expect her to.
Right, they expect her to do it because she's a woman, and it's like it's weird though too because okay, so she's like a superhero and she's kicking ass and stuff. I think it would be really weird to have someone like cracking a smile the whole time as they're like crashing through things. I mean, that would be like weird to even want to see that. So that's kind of weird that they want to see that. But
that'd be like sadistic looking.
Yeah,
or something.
That's like a psychopath would do something like that. Like, I'm going through this airplane right now. It's like, okay, that's really weird. But yeah, it's because they wanted something to, look at, and yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but
yeah. I don't know. So yeah, and then we have what else happens in this episode? Because Glenn and Cheyenne go up to the top of the building to try to fix the AC.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that side plot for them. That's like their story together because they haven't really spent much time as like a group in that one. And then the third one was what? I don't remember.
We had Garrett realized that the AC works in Glenn's office, and so he goes in there, and then Dina joins him in there, and they basically are just hanging out in the air, and then they just decide to have sex a couple times while they're in there.
Right, because they're just really
bored.
Annoyed with each other and bored, so they end up just trying to pass the boredom by having sex, and then that's when they kind of start. Well, not really start, but they sort of imply that they're going to start some kind of like, not even friends with benefits because they're not friends. So just like co-workers with benefits or acquaintances with benefits. I don't know, something like that. And so yeah, and then there's that plot, and then the Cheyenne and Glenn one I thought was pretty interesting was Glenn always like has a habit of like revealing like really dark stuff about his past that he just had no idea that's really like dark. Yeah. So like the whole thing when he was talking about how like his dad, threatened to fire his soon to be wife.
In that previous episode,
So he calls her up and says like their entire relationship was built on a sex crime or something like that. And then Glenn, he's up on the roof with Cheyenne, and he's trying to reassure her that he can figure out how to fix this because the Sturgises have always been. Oh, that's right. She says you're really handsy. He goes, no, handsy plural. So it's like he doesn't even know what that means.
Yeah.
And then he says that the Sturgises have always built things. In fact, the Sturgises we were the first. We built the first ships that brought the first African Americans to this country. And Cheyenne's like, you mean like slave ships? And he's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. And then they talk about wanting to travel to places like there's some places in Asia that supposedly have McDonald's with spaghetti.
Like that's the thing they want to see the most.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to go to like. Look at old like monasteries or huge, Great Wall of China.
Visit the Great Wall of China, or
no, they want to go to the McDonald's where they can order noodles. Oh God.
Well, it's kind of like how I went to New York City and I ate at TGI Fridays when I was there. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, why did we do this?
The thing is, though, I probably would do something like that.
Yeah.
Like if I went to India or something, I probably would go to a McDonald's and just try to see what they have on their menu. I know it's such a being indoctrinated by like American capitalism, like that. Just like I'll see all the cool cultural shit, but I really want to see what they got at the Indian McDonald's. They got like different types of hamburgers there. Are they veggie burgers? What
probably
I
think they actually do have veggie burgers there.
I would imagine. And or sometimes they even have different things like not even French fries. They might have some different side dish, and for whatever reason, stuff like that excites me.
Oh yeah,
like just the little tiny differences.
Well, it's like when I'm in a city, I like watching local TV.
Yeah,
like their news and stuff, and I just see how different it is than local. Anyways, do you want to? So basically, what ends up happening is then there's the part where the people have to unload the truck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because the warehouse people are all quit because Marcus got fired by Amy, and after everything, Amy and Jonah fire Marcus, even though they don't have the authority to do so.
Right. Because Jonah basically told Marcus to kind of like apologize to her, but he did the typical non-apology apology where he said, I'm sorry that you felt offended.
Yeah.
Which is not an apology. And she actually let that one slide though. She didn't even respond to that. It was the other thing that he said. I forgot what it was. I forgot how emotional women can be, or sensitive how women can be. And then Jonah was trying to be like the mediator between them, and then he eventually took Amy's side because Jonah's he's like one of these quote like woke people, and like he's kind of annoying about it, but like he's usually right about what he says. It's just that when it comes for him, like nobody wants to listen to him because of like how like
annoying
superior. Yeah, he's got like a superiority complex about him. So he said like you're tapping into kind of like this gender / like power thing, and then Marcus says like, oh my God, you're being a bigger bitch than Amy is. So then like he's like,
Marcus,
you're fired. Yeah. So it's like none of them. Like, especially Jonah. I mean, if anyone had the authority to do it, would be Amy, but she doesn't even have that authority. So it's like he's like a lower tier than she is.
He's at an equal level as Marcus, if anything. Yeah,
or even we're actually less though because Marcus is the manager of the warehouse, and so
yeah, but then they end up having to unload the truck, and that's pretty funny because they don't know what the hell they're doing, and Sandra gets boxed into a corner. And then later on, Marcus comes back to apologize right when Amy was about to like say, oh, I'm going to hire you back. But then, he apologizes and she says, oh, that's good because the paperwork hasn't gone through yet. And then corporate calls, gets back off of, they were on hold the whole time. So they were on hold while Garrett and Dina were having sex in the office, and then Dina pretends to be Glenn on the phone, and so they which I'll get to later anyway. So that they basically the error is fixed by corporate. They realize that there was an error, and then they come back into the store, Glenn and Cheyenne, and Glenn falls into the yogurt mess on the floor that Marcus didn't clean up, and he gets stuck in it.
It's so sad to watch him flailing about on the yogurt. Just like, try to roll out of it, try to swim out of it. It doesn't look like you're going anywhere. He's like, looks so helpless. But before that, though, he said, because she's like, oh, we can't travel the world now because the store is cold and the store needs you again. He's like, yeah, it probably does. So then he gives her like $5. He's like, when you make it to, was it Macau, go buy a
McNoodle on me.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
Yeah. So so anyways, yeah, that's the episode. Do you want to take a break, Matt?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, everybody. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast you're listening to right now. With me, as always, is
Matthew Haas.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you about our really cool other podcast called All Too Real 2. And what do we do on that show, Matt?
We watched the greatest direct-to-video sequels of all time, and then we report on them.
And we also talk about other pop culture cool things like video games and conspiracy theories and other awesome things. So if any of that sounds fun to you and you enjoy hearing my voice and Matt's voice,
as you should.
I mean, of course. Tune in anywhere you get podcasts to All Too Real 2. Bye-bye.
You won't find a better quantum physicist than Dr. Graw Horatio.
How do you do? I am Dr. Graw Horatio, a scientist.
However, like many of us, he's useless without a good cup of coffee.
Thanks to coffee, I can accomplish more in a week than a regular scientist can in a month, with just as many psychotic breakdowns. It's quite economical in the long run.
You can hear Dr. Horatio and his exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar. Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
And we are back. Welcome, folks. My name is Mike.
My name is Matt.
I hope you're fine.
Like
Chris
Pine.
And red wine.
And red vines.
And, zip lines. Okay, so
that's a weird vacation.
Hanging out with Chris Pine with some red vines and some red wine and some zip lines. Sounds like a good time. That almost rhymed.
Chris Pine, that's a real person, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's the guy that played like Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movies.
I was pretty sure it was him. I'm like,
yeah, and he was in the Wonder Woman movie and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so among other things, so do you want to go to Employee of the Week, Matt?
Yeah, let's do that.
Attention, Cloud9 Associates. Our Employee of the Week is.
Okay, who was your favorite employee this week, Matt, and why?
Glenn.
Glenn.
Not gonna think about it too hard. Just Glenn.
Okay.
Ironically, or not ironically, but I guess unsurprisingly, I don't think Garrett was actually my favorite employee of the. I think, I have this long-standing thing that like I would probably choose Garrett every single week, so I've been forced to choose a second best character.
Yeah.
But this is the one time where I wouldn't even choose Garrett as the first choice.
Yeah.
Just because for
It
whatever
really wasn't a Garrett episode.
So I'm going to go with Glenn as the actual first choice, not the fake first choice. Because, once again, this is when he reveals, like, these weird, dark things of, like, his family's history that he doesn't really even realize is that bad, like, until, like, someone points it out to him, and then he, like, has, like, this moment of crisis, basically, like the one with his wife and a few episodes ago, and then this one. And, like, I don't know, too, like he kind of showed, like, a little bit of his, like, because, like, he's always, like, smiling and, like, always trying to be positive all the time. And, like, this episode kind of showed him, like, getting really frustrated at certain things, like when he's on hold at corporate, when he's trying to get the temperature fixed, and like also just like revealing like some of like the things he desires, like he wanted to travel the world and stuff like that, and like just kind of like he's not always like the positive up, whatever happy dude all the time. Like there's a kind of a dark side to him.
So I think my favorite employee this week was Marcus. I just think it was a really good John Barinholtz episode, and he was typical Marcus. I liked everything he did. He was basically this was the proto Marcus, the epitome of Marcus, the red wine, the crisp pine, the red vines of Marcus.
And zip lines.
And the zip lines.
Yeah.
Maybe not zip lines.
No. This is when he becomes Marcus as the character in the future that you'll see.
The guy who's kind of sad and doesn't, have any friends.
I know.
So yeah, and I think I'm going to go with the second favorite character in this episode wasn't an employee. The character of Dennis, who is the customer, played by Brendan Jennings, who is an IT guy trying to put on leather pants, which aren't really leather pants, but they're made from recycled water bottles. And he gets them stuck and everything. And this is like, I think, one of the first episodes we see him, and he recurs from time to time. And then he doesn't recur anymore because he kind of has a fairly big recurring role on AP Bio as a janitor on there. So, and he's a cool guy who actually responded to a tweet of mine once. So I'm just going to give that out. Yes.
Cronyism.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Anyways, he seems cool. So, there's that. And, why don't we jump into today's special?
Attention Cloud9 shoppers, today's special is...
What was your favorite scene in the episode, Matthew? And why?
Just kind of a lot. I guess I liked the warehouse scene where Jonah's being like the mediator between Amy and Marcus.
Marcus, yeah.
I think so. Just because it kind of revealed like both Amy and Marcus's kind of like more like just combative. How you say that word? Combative, whatever.
Combative, yeah.
Combative
sounds
sides.
Right. Yeah.
And Jonah, trying to be his usual self of trying to always, be the peacemaker or whatever. But then even he's like, you're fired.
So, I think my favorite scene was probably... That's a tough one, really.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of good ones in this episode. I'm just gonna go with the opening, the opening of the episode where everybody's hot and there's like this like confrontation between everybody, and then Jonah comes up with his like positive attitude bullshit, and Dina says, I'll punch you in the face if you get any close, if your face gets any closer, and then he starts trying to talk again, and Garrett's like punch you in the face or something, whatever it is. It was pretty funny. I like that scene. Do you want to take another break, Matt?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks. Enjoy these words from our fabulous, fabulous sponsors. Okay. Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great, great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So
it was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so
We analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
You know? Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye.
And we are back. How are you, Matthew?
I'm doing all right.
Why am I whispering?
Because we're hiding right now.
We are? Mm-hmm. From the Nazis?
Sure.
So, I'm done whispering. Come and get me, Nazis. Anyways, so let's jump into the close of the episode.
Attention Cloud9 shoppers. The store will be closing soon.
So, any final thoughts on this episode or anything, Matt?
No, not really.
Anything cool going on in life?
No.
No?
Not really. Well, let me think about the episode. I mean, I don't know. Just it's just a really good episode. It's one of the better ones. Like, it's one of the ones that like I would recommend. Like, if someone wasn't sure if they were kind of on the fence and watching the show, I would probably. This would be one of the ones I would tell them to watch, so that they wouldn't just watch like one that was kind of boring and then change, decide not to watch the show.
Yeah.
So this would be like probably within like maybe the top 20 or top 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Then there's I think it's cool, and I'd like to apologize to our fans too that we took a couple weeks off. We were having some issues in life, and things go on, man.
Things go on. The world turns.
Yes,
sort of.
Yes, we just had some issues, mainly health and other things.
Tony kidnapped me, so
I didn't want to bring that up. I thought we were keeping that quiet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
All right, Tony, if you're listening, Matt did not mean to say that you kidnapped him. He was just hanging out with you.
I was just hanging
quote
out.
unquote hanging out. Like a couple of buddies.
Try to reintroduce me to his cult.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was tied up, but you're just a couple of buddies hanging out.
Playing Super Nintendo. I mean,
Like, were you playing like what were you playing on it?
like an actual Super Nintendo. He
Really?
got out of a trash somewhere and just hooked it up.
So, like, what game were you playing though? Like, was it?
We're playing Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
Not Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, okay.
The first Mortal Kombat where there's no blood in the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, okay.
And he was kind of getting mad about that. Thought it was my fault. I'm like, I didn't invent the game.
So then he cut his arm and added some blood.
Yeah, a little bit, but just
right.
a little bit. And then
Okay.
then we started playing Mario Kart, the first one.
Yeah.
Then F-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I started to notice he liked a lot of the racing games because he likes the speed and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Because he's a being of light. So, because of that, he loves the...
Not this again, man.
Well, he likes the speed, aspect of stuff. So, when you travel the speed of light, you're automatic, kind of like your speedster, like Barry Allen is, in the Flash. The faster you go, the more like light you become, sort of.
Matt, is Tony real, Matt?
No, he's not.
I think he is.
He's not real.
Are you sure?
Well, who kidnapped me then?
Okay, I guess he is real if somebody kidnapped you.
I don't know who else.
Because I couldn't find you for a couple
That's
weeks.
what I'm saying. Who knows who it would be?
I was just gonna chalk it up to health issues,
No.
but
it was health issues in a sense because he tried to brainwash me again. So
yeah.
And just a few minutes ago, I got brainwashed again because he implanted all kinds of these like trigger words in me.
So you're like a Manchurian candidate.
So if I even say a certain word, even if I say it, doesn't have to be repeated to me. It just could be me saying the word. Then suddenly, I snap into it. Then I gotta snap, Or kind of like you tell me, it's not real, and I got to snap back out of it. So he did a real, did a number on me, really. So
Pepsi.
No, that's not one of them.
Okay, I'm just trying to trigger words randomly.
No, it's usually stuff that you wouldn't even realize. Like it's nothing like
Red Vines.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
Now I want some Red Vines.
Want.
Matt.
Oh, sorry.
Come back.
Sorry, I guess want is one of the words now. Wow.
All right, let's not say that word ever again.
Or, well, that's going to be hard. I guess the best way would to deprogram myself.
I really do want some Red Vines.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. Matt, come back.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
good. All right. How many fingers am I holding up, Matt?
3, and you've got your pinky and thumb holding each other.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes. Holding each other like lovers.
Yep.
So
I'm not. This is not my best work tonight.
No, it's cool. It's good. We're good. We're good. So you're okay, man. You'll be all right.
All right. Cool.
I think we'll get past this Tony thing. You know.
All right.
Just next time he calls you, call me first.
All right.
And I'll talk you out of going to hang out with him.
Okay.
I mean, even if he has a cool Super Nintendo. I mean, I understand.
It's pretty cool.
Now if he had like a GameCube.
He does have a GameCube.
Actually. Oh shit! You play like GoldenEye, or does he have a Nintendo 64? Because that's where GoldenEye was on, right?
Yes, but we didn't play that.
Okay.
But GoldenEye is one of my favorite games. So
Okay. So
if we played GoldenEye, I would have still been there, probably just completely brainwashed at this point.
So yeah, GoldenEye is fun though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing that at my friend Alicia's house when I was younger.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The graphics don't hold up, but it's still a really fun game
Yes.
to play.
I wish they'd do a HD remake of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they do that with a lot of games now. They should start doing that for that. Come on.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't like it though when they do that. Like sometimes, like I'll get a little bit pissed off if I like buy a game, like a Mario game or whatever, and like I'm expecting like the actual game,
But then it's like a remake.
it's like all the colors are more vibrant and stuff, and like I guess that's supposed to make it look better, but to me, it's like it just looks too cartoonish. Like I don't know, I don't like games that look too much like cartoons.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because I was brought up in when gaming wasn't as advanced, so it was all pixelated. So I kind of like associate like, happiness with those type of graphics. So like when the graphics are too good, I almost like get pissed off.
Pixels.
Oh, I could see Mario's pants too good. I don't like that. I'd rather see the pixels or
Pixels are the key to happiness in life,
Yeah.
man. Not the movie Pixels.
just the
Yeah.
pixels in general.
Yeah, because I've never seen the movie Pixels.
I don't even know what it is.
It was this Adam Sandler movie.
Well,
from
there
a
you
few
go. That's
years
the reason
ago.
why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because fucking Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Adam Sandler. Some of his movies are good, but you just learn to say no at a certain point, or like on some things. Like not every movie needs to be made, or not every idea rather needs to be turned into a movie. Like okay, Happy Gilmore.
Yes, they do.
Happy Gilmore.
Wait, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Every idea needs to be coming. No. I've had like hundreds of stupid ideas. I haven't turned 100 into 100 movies of every. I mean, okay. So Happy Gilmore, pretty good. It's silly, but it's Billy Madison was just too silly for its own good, in my opinion. I
still liked it.
I don't know. I mean, I was a little kid when it came out, so maybe I didn't get it or whatever. Happy Gilmore. And then he made some more serious ones like Wedding Singer. It's a classic. I still love that movie. I think it's great. Like 50 First Dates is pretty good, even though it's got some weird stuff in it. Spanglish is pretty good. That's like a serious one.
His best performance is in Punch Drunk Love.
There's that one. That's right. I forgot.
I love that movie. Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Movie made on a bet.
Really?
Yes.
It was on a bet. Wow.
Yeah, the movie is exactly 90 minutes long.
Oh wow.
Because his movies tended to be long, like Magnolia and whatnot, and Boogie Nights before that.
Boogie Nights. It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, and he he was hanging out with some friends, I guess. This is the story I've heard. I don't know if this is true or apocryphal or whatever, but he said a friend of his bet him that he couldn't make a 90-minute romantic comedy starring Adam Sandler.
But he did.
Nope, and make it good. Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah.
And because he's a great actor and a great, but I don't know, it's the same thing.
Reign Over Me, he was great in that.
Yeah, I'm forgetting a lot of the good movies. Yeah, Reign Over Me was really good. It's the same thing with like who is it? Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
It's like both of them are really good when other people write a movie, but like when they're the ones that have like almost complete control over it, it's like too goofy for its own good. Like for example, like I hate to be like criticizing people, but like Little Nicky, really, Waterboy, the Jack and Jill. Oh my God, it's like probably one of the most worst movies of all time. That's My Boy. I kind of veer off. I
actually liked That's My Boy.
I vacillate on that one. Like I was gonna say, I go back and forth on that one.
I think part of the reason I like that is because I got to go to a press screening of it.
Right. Well, I was with you.
Yeah. For free.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Yeah. So I go back and forth on that one. I don't know, but I guess I'm like 50-50 on Adam Sandler. But I guess the problem is that all the channels that show all these Adam Sandler movies, they always show like the really stupid ones. So like they don't show the good ones. Like, you know, I never seen them play Spanglish or Punch Drunk Love. You know, they're always playing like Waterboy or whatever, you know, type of thing.
Those are the ones that made a lot of money.
I guess.
But anyways,
but sorry, Adam Sandler.
It's okay.
I actually do like.
If you'd like to be on our podcast sometime, Adam Sandler, I don't know why you'd be on a Superstore podcast,
right.
But any of our other ones, So if you're listening to this, love you, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways,
apologize for being critical.
Yeah. So I think that's about it that we got for this week, man.
All right.
I'm getting sleepy.
Sleepy time. Sleepy time. You go to sleep when you drink the sleeping tea. The sleepy time tea. He's out of it, guys. He's out.
Bye-bye.
This is the Super Story Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast.
A Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.